My DM box was full of messages urging me to try this Elden Ring game, and I finally got to it. When reviewing titles like that, I try to answer only one question that really matters. How does it compare to the greatest title ever created, The Elder Scrolls III Morrowind, which featured me, yours truly, and only, the magnificent Dagoth Ur? I must say Elden Ring plays decently. The presentation is outstanding, combat might be difficult and even intimidating for someone who is not me. For someone who is me, it was barely a walk in a Balmora park on the Sunday afternoon, but still fun and interesting given wide selection of spells, weapon arts, armor sets, and endless possibilities for builds. Unfortunately, Elden Ring does not stand a chance against Morrowind's resplendent, innovative combat system, which was, and still is, way ahead of any modern game. I dare say that Elden Ring shamelessly ripped off the stamina-based system in its entirety. They tried to re-implement a formula that had worked once and cash in. However, while the attempt to copycat previous success is commendable, the final result is not as good. Actually, while we are on the subject, let's take a trip down memory lane and let's have a look at why Morrowind's combat and gameplay were such timeless success. Even by today's standards, the game holds up extremely well, with the number of concurrent players on Steam exceeding 500,000 each day, making Morrowind the most played title of all time. Those spell sound effects, like scratching nails against blackboard or rubbing two pieces of polystyrene against each other vigorously. I absolutely love it. Before we go back to Elden Ring, just for the record, as comparison is unavoidable, Morrowind earned in my books 11 out of 10. Normally this game would have only 8 points, but since it featured yours truly, Dagoth Ur, I was obliged to lift the score by 4 points to 12. But then again, I needed to take the point out for this extremely annoying bug, where player character could bring my hit points all the way down to 0. What fool those devs were. I'm a god. How can you kill a god? Anyway, it is not much of an issue as most players play as intended. Thus, when they reach the heart chamber in Red Mountain Volcano, under the influence of my awe and magnificence, they choose to submit and then are integrated into my army and war machine. Let's go back to Elden Ring, shall we? Right off the bat, I had to deduct 5 points because there was this stupid imposter, Goldmask, who, lacking his own style and sense of fashion, tried to steal my copyrighted signature look. To punish him, I unleashed my lawyers from the Sixth House Legal Counsel Limited. Once they had taken hold of every penny he ever owned, I paid him a visit personally to cast my judgment upon his wicked soul. What an insufferable fool. I give 2 points for the Caelid location. Absolute masterful craftsmanship. Such a lovely place. Everything about it gives heavenly vibes. The sky, fauna, flora, rivers, lakes, and all the birds, animals, and people. All of it reminds me of Red Mountain Volcano. Except, there is no f***ing volcano. How could they overlook such a detail? 13,674 feet above sea level detail, 18,000 cubic miles of detail filled with 10 billion liters of lava. Absolutely outrageous. I need to deduct 22.4 points from the final score because of this. To be fair, there is a nice volcano in the game. It's just in the wrong place. With all the grace I possess, I can reward the game 1 point for including the volcano. Somehow, volcanoes make me very comfortable. I do not know what it is. Probably the heat. The most annoying thing about Elden Ring is that there is not even a single reference to your greatest Dagoth Ur. Not even one, let alone the full presence and glory of my magnificent character. To fix this, I had to enter the game as a mere player like every other pleb out there. Such disrespect could not go unpunished. I needed to vent my rage somewhere, so one by one, I started taking out those who got on my nerves. First to go was Margit the Fell Omen, a horned crybaby with mommy issues. Next was Godric the Grafted. This narcissistic, self-absorbed buffoon with an inflated ego annoyed me beyond measure, so I made him kneel before ending him. How someone can be so grandiose and self-absorbed is beyond me. Afterwards, I defeated Godfrey, First, Elden Lord, because he was a psycho who mistreated his puppy. Then there was a period of self-reflection, appreciation, reconciliation, and self-improvement. I befriended this dude Rykard, Lord of Blasphemy. He was quite all right, and I felt Together we could conquer the world. We were hanging out in Volcano Manor. He also likes volcanoes like me, but I needed his blasphemous blade. So, I ended him too. Then I met Mog, the Omen. To all the media out there, I have nothing to do with this person, as I cut all ties before the allegations against him started. Next was Malekith, the Black Blade. We were friends for a while, exchanging spells, sharing knowledge, and going to bars. But I needed his Black Blade. So, he is no more. There was this guy, Elden Beast, his name was. He was usurping as a god. Therefore, I needed to send him into the cosmos, as there is only one worthy of godhood, and it is Dagoth Ur. Everyone else was just plebs not worth mentioning here. Oh, I almost forgot. Queen Marika was quite okay. I think I could date her, though I'm not sure why I mentioned it here. Anyway, overall the game is good, but falls short by failing to make any significant reference to my character. I am extremely disappointed. The final score comes to minus 134 out of 10, just after Diablo 4, which earned minus 255 out of 10. Elden Ring earns the 4th spot on my top 5 list, losing to The Elder Scrolls IV, Oblivion, a game that, by merely mentioning my name, earned 3rd place with 7 out of 10. Then comes Skyrim with 8 out of 10, which again, merely mentioning me helped this title tremendously, placing it 2nd on the list. And of course, in 1st place with 11 out of 10, we have Morrowind, a game that features superior combat, graphics, design, sound, and the presence of yours truly, Dagoth Ur. Stay tuned for the future. I will be reviewing DLC soon enough, and I am very hopeful for Shadow of the Erdtree. Shadow Realm seems like appropriate place to reveal my grand character, if this would happen. Not only DLC would earn high mark, but automatically the base game final score would improve astoundingly.